you ever had a disagreement or an argument or a difference of opinion with somebody? Have you ever had the joy of another human being pointing out that you're wrong, you've made a mistake? Have you ever had interactions with other human beings that frustrate you, annoy you, make you angry? And what do you do about them? Because of course we've all had those. So I always come out in the fresh air and sunshine and have a giggle because I can't change other people. But I do have some interesting questions that I always ask myself. I don't have answers to them. They're just interesting observations of human nature. We all have the right to our opinion, yes? There are people that have died for our right to believe what we believe in, and that nobody else should be able to tell us what to believe. But why do we have a need to tell other people that this is what I believe and you should believe it too? So I've been brought up in a religious environment where, of course, all religions are right. Every other religion is wrong, but ours is right. And I always question that. How do I know that this is the right one? There's so many different religions. How do I know that mine's right? But it doesn't matter. If you believe yours is right, then you have the right to believe that. Isn't that exciting? But why do we need to then tell other people that their religion's wrong or their opinion's wrong or the way they interpret the Bible is wrong? I'm right, you're wrong. I find that fascinating. I also find it a very annoying way to live life because I don't want negativity in my life. And of course, arguments and disagreements are horrible. When somebody points out your mistakes, I always find that fascinating because I'm a human being who's an adult, who's a mature adult, who is very aware when I make a mistake. I'm the kind of person that is very happy to make mistakes because I know that I'm growing and learning. I don't like making the same mistake twice, of course. So I learn from my mistakes and move on. I always ask I don't ask the person, I just in my own headspace think to myself, I wonder why that person needed to point out that I made a mistake. Particularly things that you can't change. I'll use an example. I used to produce a coloured magazine, a colour gloss, full-blown, gorgeous magazine about health and fitness. And there was often typos in that magazine, and I share this with much joy and happiness because there's nothing you can do about it. I just used to make me laugh. People would go through the magazine and they would point out all the typos and they would send them in to me and say, this magazine's got 17 typos or 3 typos or this sentence structure's wrong. Now, the magazine's been printed, it's already out there. I can't change that. It's not an e-magazine, it's a printed gloss magazine. What's the point of pointing out the mistake? Why not just read the beautiful story or the motivational quotes or the stories about great business opportunities and just love the story rather than pointing out the mistake? And there's that great quote for that. Some people see the beautiful rainbow, some people will see the dirty window. I don't want to be the dirty window person. But you can be if you want to be. It doesn't matter. But why do we need to point our point of view out to somebody else? You'll often hear this on social media. I like her or him, but I don't agree with everything that they say. Why do you need to add that on the end? Why not just say, I really like them? They are beautiful people or they have an opinion, and isn't that awesome? Rather than, I don't agree with everything that they say. Why do we need to say that? Why do we need to make comment on other people's opinions? Now, social media and the whole algorithm of getting likes and subscribers and making money from social media is all about that. It's about how many comments, negative comments can I get, not positive ones. How many people can I get to disagree with each other? Because the more people that argue on your social media platform, the more money you can make from social media. Well, I don't want to live my life like that. I turn the comments off for a reason. You have the right to your opinion. I have the right to my opinion. If we don't have the same opinion, that doesn't matter. My purpose every single day is to inspire, excite and motivate people to be healthy, fit and strong, have a career or business that they love, be financially free and have great people in their life. Now, the way to do that, you can argue about the best way to do that. I'm just very privileged that I've been healthy, fit and strong my whole life. I've never had a lousy, stinking, rotten job or a horrible boss. I've always woken up every day loving my life. I've been financially free for a very long time, and I only have great people in my inner circle. So most people don't live their life like that. And I'll ask the question, how many people do you know in your personal inner circle that are really happy every day? They're healthy, fit and strong. They never get sick. They have a career or business that they love, they're financially free, and they would never accept lousy, stinky, rotten people in their life. Those people are very rare. So I've studied, educated, trained, learned every single day of my life about those 4 things. So I share that with the world. Now, if you don't agree with me, that's okay. If you have a different opinion to me, that's okay. Why do we need to tell people, I don't like you, I don't agree disagree with you. My opinion's better than yours. What kind of inflated ego would say, you're wrong, I'm right? Now, even if that's true, who cares? And I'm going to go back to one of my most beautiful communication tools. And I'm sure your mum shared it with you too. If you can't say something nice, don't say anything. I love praise and compliments. I love telling people that they're beautiful, or I love that they're a great chef, or they've got a beautiful home or a great car, or I love the email that they wrote me, or they've got beautiful shoes. I love telling people praise and compliments. I really enjoy that. But the point of saying to somebody, you're wrong, you made a mistake, your opinion doesn't agree with mine, I cannot comprehend that. And I don't have to, because the world's not going to change because of me. But I am asking this very personal question. When you disagree with somebody, when you argue with somebody, when you tell them that they're wrong or you tell them they've made a mistake, what value does that add to your life? I always think to myself before I open my mouth, these are just really important communication tools that I use. What I'm about to say, is it the truth? And will it add value to the other person's life? And if I say this, will it add value to my life? Now, if you're a dramatist and you love adding horrible stuff into people's lives and you're negative and you love hurting people, then it might add value to your life to say nasty things. But surely as a common sense human being, you would say it might add value to my life to be nasty and to criticise, but will it add value to the other person's life? And if it's not going to add value to the other person's life, then do we have to accept the consequences of having the reputation of being an arse of a person? And there's a lot of those, isn't there? There's so many people that disagree, and there's a lot of money to be made in disagreeing. I get that. Most of the social media commentary and the podcast now are all about disagreeing with the other side, and I don't know what the other side is. My side is this: I want to be happy, healthy, fit, strong, lean and energetic. I want to do all the things that I love to do. And as I always share, I'm not into politics at all, but if I ever ran for politics, this would be my byline, and I'm not going to, but this is my byline. We will leave you alone. We will leave you the hell alone. Go and live your life your way. Don't let the government tell you what to do. Don't let your family tell you what to do. Don't let anybody in your life tell you what to do. Who are you? What do you stand for? What do you believe in? And live your life that way. Don't let people tell you what to do. And I think it's a really important question to ask. If you allow other people to tell you what to do, if you change who you are to suit other people, if you accept people's criticism, and people have the right to criticise, and they always do. But if it's not true, why would you believe it? And if it's not true, why would you take it on board? And if it's not true, why would you even have those people in your life? You don't have to read the comments on your social media. You don't have to even open up your social media. You don't have to associate with negative, nasty people. You get to live your life your way. Isn't that awesome? Which is probably why when people say, Rowie, you live a million miles from anywhere, I'm on 20 acres at the moment. I've got 5 beautiful puppy dogs and a gorgeous human. And the other people that I bring into my life, I'm very careful about who I let into my inner circle, because I don't want negative, nasty, horrible people in my life. You don't have to have them either. That's a choice. Isn't that awesome? So rather than disagreeing and arguing and being frustrated and annoyed because somebody's got a different opinion to yours, how about isn't that awesome that they've got the right to their opinion? I would fight to the death for your right to have that opinion, but I don't need you to agree with me, and you don't need to expect me to agree with you. Now, you might expect me to agree with you, and that's your right to have that opinion, but it's not going to happen, because we all have the right to live our life our way. Isn't that awesome? So when you wake up every morning, I always ask this question: will I have a great day today? Why? What am I thankful for? What am I looking forward to? At the end of the day, we always say, why did we have a great day today? What did we learn today? And if the learning curve that we had today is we had this nasty, horrible person come into our life who disagreed with us or made nasty comments or said horrible things, well, now we make a choice. We don't have to have them in our life. And isn't that awesome? You can switch, cut off, block, cancel, whatever you want to do, the people in your life that don't add value. So if you want to live your life to the max, make sure that everything you do and everything you say that you're taking in or you're giving out adds value. And if you're devaluing, could it be important to accept the consequences that people won't think you're very nice? I want to be known as a kind, respectful, beautiful person, so I have to live that way. How about you? If you want to live your life to the max, super duper doo, how are you? Why not be very nice? If you've got nothing nice to say, say nothing. Woohoo!